guys! So if this background looks familiar at all, I just finished filming my first video of swatching the Morphe 31i Icy Fantasy palette, which is going to be one of the 3 eyeshadow palettes I will be using to create 3 eyeshadow looks, to try to just demo a couple of different eyeshadow looks, because I have to film a song for my musical theater final. It's like a self-tape, and you're supposed to sort of dress like your character. And the professor doesn't like require you do makeup, but especially because right now because most of my clothes are still stuck in my dorm in New York, I'm really limited in terms of what my clothing options are. So I figure, I'll try to like put on some makeup because it's my final, it's my last thing I'm doing with that professor because I'm graduating. So I figure I just try to do something special and also just give myself a break from all the papers I've just been endlessly writing all week. As I'm sure anyone else who's in college right now during COVID-19, when everything's online, you're turning in papers online and things really aren't in person the way they would be during the normal school year. So yeah, so you know what I'm going through right now. You understand why I need this break, however brief it may be. So I'm actually going to start with the 31i Icy Fantasy by Morphe. Just because it's of the 3 eyeshadow palettes, it's the one I haven't really tried yet. I mean, I swatched it in my previous video, but I haven't actually tried putting it on my eyes. And because I'm trying 3 different eyeshadow looks right now, it's not gonna be really a longevity test unless I actually do end up choosing the look I make with the 31i Icy Fantasy palette. So unless I pick that one, it's not really going to really be a longevity test, but we'll see. So as you saw, I just put on some Urban Decay Primer Potion, and here's the palette. And because this is the top I'm going to be wearing for the final, I think I'm going to go in with the greens and then maybe smoke it out with one of the darker shades. So I think I'm actually gonna go in with this green matte right here. Also, I just washed my eyeshadow brushes for like the first time in forever, so I get to work with clean eyeshadow brushes for once. Oh, hello. I should have tapped that off. Thank God I don't have any of my other makeup on right now. And thank God, because you saw that it just, like the powder just went everywhere. I mean, you can see it. Oh, in person it doesn't look that bad. On camera, it's looking really powdery. Luckily, because I'm in my bathroom, I can just tap it over the sink and not have like eyeshadow just be on the floor. Because I know that's a problem in my dorm. I'll like need to tap something off. But like I don't want to go into the bathroom in like our shared bathroom in the hallway. And so I'll just have eyeshadow powder all over the floor. It's not really like, there's no like fallout, but yeah, it is powdery, so you want to give it like a little tap. All right, that's not too bad. Okay, a little bit more subtler than I was expecting. Although I probably should have expected something a little bit more subtle, considering this is coming from a Korean makeup artist and they like their eyeshadows a little bit more subtle compared to us Americans who like the kind of eyeshadow quality. So for the next shade, I think I'm gonna do like the end of my eye, I'm gonna do this shimmer shade, and then for the front inner corner eye highlight, I'm gonna do this kind of metallic green. And so yeah, for shimmers and metallics, I just like to use my finger. Ooh, okay. I like that on camera. How does it look in person? Oh, it actually looks better in person. Yeah, it's looking a little ashy on camera, but in person, I really like it. I actually don't know what that means for like, in terms of like filming, because I'm creating these looks to film a self-tape, and I'm going to be filming. Yeah, this looks much better in person. In camera, it's either not showing up or it's looking kind of ashy. Yeah, but yeah, because I am filming a self-tape using the look I'm gonna choose, I might not go with this look, because as much as I like this in person, the reason I am choosing this look is for the self-tape, so I really need to consider what this is looking like on camera, and you really need to take that into account. Alrighty, I'm gonna smoke it out with a deeper shade. Oh God. Maybe, okay, I think I'm gonna try to smoke it out with this gray right here, because this kind of has a purpley tint to it, and I don't know what that's gonna end up looking like against the green. So let me try. Ooh. Ooh, okay. Both in person and on camera, that like blended away into nothing. You can kind of see it on camera actually now as I'm building it up, but in person, you don't see anything. Yeah. That just looks like I added some like translucent powder to the top of my eyelid in person. Wow, okay. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. Even as I pack on more, like, it just looks like translucent powder. I do also know, like, a tip for using this palette is to apply a white base before using the eyeshadows for like higher pigmentation. The problem is I don't own any white bases. I don't own any even like a white cream shadow. I don't have anything like that. So I couldn't test that theory if I even wanted to, but for my purposes right now for filming my final, I don't think this is gonna work out. Like I said, it is very pretty in person, but on camera, it looks really ashy. So I'm going to take this look off. Like I said, in person, I very much appreciate it, but in terms of filming my final, this is not gonna work. So I'm gonna pause the video, be right back, take off this eyeshadow, be right back with the next palette. Alrighty, I just took off my previous look using the Morphe 31i Icy Fantasy palette. And like I said, as pretty as that looked in person, it was not performing for the camera. So, because I'm going to use this look to film my final project, I'm going to try something else. So I am going to use, the next eyeshadow palette I'm going to try is the Colourpop All I See Is Magic palette. Now this was a special edition palette from, I believe, 2017, and I don't think this palette is sold anymore, but I do know a lot of people actually still have this palette. I see it a lot on Instagram and then occasionally on YouTube. So I figure, because I really like both this green shade and this cold shade, I figured I'd pull it out to try something. Looking at it now though, I don't know if there's going to be like a smokier shade to like, ooh, hello, to smoke it out with. But I'm just gonna go into the green and then we can go from there. Like I said, I really enjoy this green shade. And why am I using a brush? I always use my fingers because it is so much more pigmented. There we go. See, it is so much more pigmented when I use my finger. Honestly, I'm really liking it just like that, like on camera and in person. It's really pretty. I do honestly wear this shade just by itself. It's kind of like the green brown shift, which is not, I mean, it's not the most unique thing in the world, but I particularly enjoy this variant of that concept. Yeah, I really like this, like just one shade on the lid. You just wipe off some of the excess. Nice thing about not having other makeup on right now. Yeah, okay. I actually really like this just by itself. I am still going to try to maybe deepen it up a little bit with this darker brown right here. Oh, but it's a shimmer, so should I try to use a brush? You know what? I'm going to try to use, just because I'm smoking something out, I'm going to try to go over it with a brush. That's actually just looking kind of muddy, but I'm gonna put it on the other eye and see what I think. Wow, it is going on really pigmented for the brush. I've never tried putting on this shade with a brush before. It cancels out some of the green. I actually don't like that. Okay, so if I do go with this palette, I think I'm just gonna use this one green shade all over the lid and just call it a day, because this is not working. This actually, it looks like too much. Like, I thought the green shade by itself wouldn't be enough, but this, like, even just 2 shades is looking like it's too much. Okay, but I'm gonna give the third palette a shot as well. So I'm going to take off my eyeshadow again and then try the third and final eyeshadow look. So be right back. All right, final look. I've, on top of like washing off my eyeshadow with like micellar water, I've given my eyes like a second or two to dry as well, so that the micellar water isn't affecting the quality of the eyeshadow formula. And then obviously, as you can see, I'm putting down a little bit of Urban Decay primer potion between each look. Now the final palette I'm going to try for a look is the Urban Decay Born to Run palette. So I finally was able to release my trying Urban Decay eyeshadows for the first time video, which was like one of the many videos I have backlogged from when I was still at my dorm. But since then, here's the palette. I really like this palette. I brought this palette with me when I left the United States for the very first time for study abroad, and I used exclusively this palette for that trip. So yeah, so as you can tell, I've been really enjoying it, and I'm pretty sure I ended up liking it during the first impressions too, so it worked out. So I'm just cleaning off the one brush I've been using during all 3 looks, because for shimmers, I just use my finger anyway. So I'm definitely, the shadows I'm going to be focusing on are the green and the blue at the end. I think I'm gonna start with the green. I always like have to be careful about putting shimmers on this eyelid, because things because of just the shape of my eye, things crease so easily. So I have to be real careful. I hate pulling my eye like that, but otherwise, shimmers can, when I'm applying with my finger or even a brush, things can apply kind of weird. There we go. Yeah, and then on the side, you just kind of be like, beep, beep. This is taking, I've clearly been spoiled by Colourpop because this is taking a little bit more time to build up than that Colourpop shade. Alrighty. Okay, so I feel like this green matches this top more than the Colourpop green did. But this green, it's more of a pure like gold green, and it doesn't have that same shift that the Colourpop one does. But you can always change that. All right, I'm gonna go in to this like turquoise shade at the bottom here to do the inner corner. I need a bit more. I like this look on its own, but for my final, I honestly think I'm gonna go with the Colourpop. I like this. I almost feel like this is kind of like a dark kind of festival look, but for the terms of my final, I think I'm gonna go with the Colourpop look. So yeah. So I am going to, well, I can just take this off right now. I'm taking this off, and then I am going to reapply my Colourpop look, which I honestly thought it was going to be, like, the looks I was going to go with were going to be more complicated than this. And obviously the most complicated one I did was at the beginning with the Morphe Icy Fantasy palette. But the other ones was just like 1 or 2 shades. Okay. So yeah, so I am going to apply, just wiping off the excess, because I have so much micellar water on myself right now at this point. And then I'm gonna put on some eyeshadow primer for like the 4th time today. So much so that I need to squeeze more off the tube. Does that ever happen where like your wand runs out, or like there's no more primer potion on the wand, so you have to like squeeze the tube in order to get more? I've been doing that like every 4 or 5 times I've applied my eyeshadow, just because like with the wand going in and out of the tube itself, it's like it doesn't collect enough on its own. So here we go. Hard to like round out the ends of my eye with just my finger. This is definitely where a brush would come in handy, but I'm lazy. For the other eye, I will say this has shown that at least this particular Colourpop palette is much more pigmented than the Urban Decay Born to Run, because like you saw, I like had to go in like 3 or 4 times with my finger to build up the shadow. And then the Colourpop, the Colourpop, it's almost like you can get away with one swipe. I think for my right eye, I have to go pass over it again, because with my crease in the right eye, my lid on this eye is a lot greasier than it is on this eye, and I just in general, I know I have to go over this eye a lot more than I do with the left one. It's one of the things, repercussions of having two different kinds of eye shapes. But yeah, I am going to go fetch my tools, and then I'm gonna complete this look. So be right back. After getting my tools, I also did another like wipe off of all the swatches off my arms, and look, I still have more glitter. It never ends. It really never does. Okay, so now that I have my eyes applied, I'm going to go in with the rest of my face, starting with the same BB cream and primer that I've used for like 3 years now. If you're wondering why I never list my foundation or my primer in my makeup, it's because I'm always wearing the same one. It's the Nature Republic, oh god, I can't. Oh, it's the Cell Boosting BB Cream. And this is the Nature Republic Pure Shine Makeup Base. And it's the same primer and foundation I use for every one of my looks. I am a believer of like having one foundation and one primer and just using it till it's gone. Like I've never been a person who's like trying out multiple foundations and multiple primers, even multiple. I own multiple concealers because I've gotten them in Ipsy bags, but I've never went out and purposefully bought multiple concealers, especially if I knew I already have one. Actually, I'm going to show you what concealer I'm using right now. It's the Secret Nature Skin Tint Concealer in 02. And then, my shade in the Nature Republic Pure... Nope, it's completely scratched off. I just know it's the second to darkest shade. And then this is also like, I think this is the second to darkest shade. So yeah, like I own the Kokie concealer because I got it in Ipsy, but I haven't opened it because I want to use this first. That's just how I am. Like, especially like concealer, I only really use concealer for like special occasions, like something like this, like when I'm filming or when I am doing some kind of like video performance thing, because I think because like for day-to-day wear, I think concealer looks a little unnatural on me, so I don't use it if I'm just kind of going out. Now I'm going to powder with some Charlotte Tilbury. Oh, I'm looking kind of red in the camera today. I don't know why. And let's see, mascara, Tom Ford Emotionproof. I got this from Influenster some time ago, and I like it. Would I ever pay the price they're at? Oh, I hit myself. Ah! Okay, it doesn't sting, but like I'm afraid to open my eye. Shoot. Okay, I have to be really careful to like not disturb any of my other makeup. Did that wipe off some of my concealer? It totally did. I'm just gonna keep going. How you can still tell I'm still a makeup newbie, I do stuff like that. Like poke my eye with my mascara, or even like eyeliner. Once I get my own place, or even if once I get back to like a dorm setting, I am like gonna try to film myself doing makeup every day and maybe like post it to IGTV. For all the times I tend to do eyeliner and just like make a compilation of me being terrible at eyeliner. And I kind of also want to do the same thing for mascara because I am also terrible with mascara. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Riz. Okay, now bronzer. Bronzer, Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I like the shade Sunkissed bronzer because their like standard shade, just the regular bronzer shade, is just a little too light for me. So I like to go a shade up. That's funny that their bronzer shade's too light for me, but then like Benefit Hoola is fine. Well, it depends, I guess. And then, oh, technically I should have put this on first, but this is a cream blush by Colourpop. This is the Super Shock blush. It's also a collaboration with Pony Park. As you can tell, I'm a fan. Yeah, even though I've already like put on powders over it, it's very easy to apply. And I'm not going for like a big, like over the top kind of flush. I'm really going for something just barely there. And the shade also helps with that too. It's like really close to my skin tone. Wow, you almost can't even see it on camera, but in person, it's looking nice. Yeah, I wanted to like try to use some of my other like Pony Park collaborations. She's come out with a lot in terms of like collabs that are available in the US, because she does have her like actual brand, Pony Effect, but she's done a lot of like American collaborations recently, because I think Pony Effect you can only get through like a third-party sellers who get stuff from Korea, like Yes Style, whereas her collabs are more easily available in the United States. Okay, highlighter. I'm gonna go in with the ABH Aurora Glow Kit. It's one of my favorites. You can tell I have huge dips in Lyra and Eclipse. What do I want to go with today? I actually kind of want to use the green one today because of my green eyeshadow look. So, alrighty, I am going to dip into Lyra first. Then I'm gonna put Helia on top. It's so glittery. Yeah, it looks kind of weird at first, but then once I blend it out. Yeah, I really have to look in like the actual bathroom mirror that's behind the camera for this one, because on my phone camera, you really can't see it. Oh, yeah. So you'll just have to trust me on this. In person, it looks great. Oh, it's kind of showing up on camera. I just have to like kind of lean into the light of the bathroom. Alrighty, so I wanted to use another like Pony Park collab item that I have. This is from her collaboration with MAC. I literally only own one of the lipsticks. I think by the time I got to it, the eyeshadow palette was sold out, and then MAC lipsticks are fairly expensive, so I think, especially for the shades they offered, I really just wanted to go with one or two. So this is the one I bought. It's in My Better Half. I wanted to use this one, but I think the red lip with this eye, I think that'd be too much. So instead, I'm going to go in with Charlotte Tilbury's Pillow Talk. Sort of a more neutral lip. Oh wow, so neutral in fact, you can't see it. Oh, that's really interesting. On camera, it's kind of showing up as a very kind of subtle, kind of nudie, slightly pinky flush, but in person, it's like a more cool-toned nude. That's really interesting. I like it. I like it with the look. Yeah, so I think that's it. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I'm gonna go film my final and then write my 2 papers. So if you're in school right now, I hope your finals are going well, or I hope you're done with finals. Because I know a lot of my friends from other schools are already done with their finals. Yeah, other than that, that's it. Thanks for watching.